Eno has a list of stations that we are just going to share with you. Eno, if you're going to the Western region, for instance, what station can you tune into to listen to Eyewitness News?
In the Western region, we're live on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takoradi. In the Benue region, we're live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ahafo region, we're on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. In the Ashanti region, we're live on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, and also Orange 107.9 FM, also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're live on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajau. In the Northern region, Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. If you're in the Upper East, you're listening to us on Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. In the Upper West, we're on Tunsung 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM.
Indeed, and you want to listen online, go to cityfmonline.com or citynewsroom.com. We are also on Facebook and we are on YouTube. Just look for City FM. You want to contribute to the discussion, 0549 986 996. That's a WhatsApp number, 0549 986 996. You want to go interactive on Twitter, now known as X. My handle is at Umaru Sanda. You can also send your message to at City973. The hashtag is Eyewitness News. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 CTFM, broadcasting from Adabaka in Accra. I am Umaru Sanda. I'm here with Enu Safo, who brings us our first story.
The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, has assured the youth of Bawku of special recruitment opportunities into the police service if they cease hostilities and support the peace process. He urged them to disarm and cooperate with ongoing efforts to restore calm in the area. During a visit to Bawku today, the IGP expressed his desire to spend at least 3 days in the area without the sound of gunfire.
Those who have retired, who have worked in any of these security services, have all distinguished themselves. And so we are appealing to you to lay down your arms, have confidence in us, so that together we'll work and then we'll bring peace to this area. We assure you that when it comes to recruitment, we'll give the people of Bawku priority. We'll give the youth of Bawku priority. And so for that matter, a special team will come here to do special recruitment for people of the youth of Bawku. If we get them, I'm sure some of them have helped us a lot in international communities, in international peacekeeping. I know, and there are names, only that I will not mention, who have worked diligently, and those who have retired, they also work together with us to make sure that we work together to bring peace here. I know how hardworking people from this area are. So we are appealing to you. Just let us know where we are going wrong. Let us know where we are going wrong so we can quickly correct those things and then make sure that you continue to work with our people diligently. Where by mistake we have done something wrong, forgive us. We will not repeat those things again. We are also appealing to you that our people, the security services over here, the police, the military, the prisons, fire service, immigration, all those who are here, they are here to work to bring peace. If any individual commits anything wrong, let us know so that we will pull that person out of the area, so that we will continue to work together to bring peace.
Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu there. President John Dramani Mahama has condemned the recent security situation in Bawku and disclosed that the peace process led by the Asante Otumfuo Osei II will resume next week. The president stated that the Asante led mediation process would be seen through to its logical conclusion to restore lasting peace in the area. He made the remarks during a graduation parade at the Ghana Military Academy.
The Ghana Armed Forces is engaged in several theaters to maintain peace and security in our nation. One major flashpoint continues to be the Bawku area. Only 2 days ago, an incident in a marketplace triggered an unfortunate loss of lives and criminal vandalism of property. I wish to emphasize that nobody gains from this situation of conflict and insecurity. We have triggered the Otumfuo mediation process, which saw all stakeholders participate in discussions in Kumasi on a roadmap towards peace. I'm assured by the Asante Hene that the process will resume next week when he returns from his brief visit abroad.
The president also indicated that his government takes every allegation of crime seriously and will ensure thorough investigations are carried out accordingly.
Let me reiterate that we will take all allegations of crime seriously and trigger our security service investigative machinery to go after criminals, no matter who they are. But let me state emphatically also that we do not have the resources and time to engage in any game of smoke and mirrors.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama. Still on the matter, the minority in Parliament is urging the government to take immediate and responsible steps to address the ongoing conflict in Bawku. Their call comes in the wake of a recent violent clash between the police and some youth in the area, which reportedly resulted in fatalities and injuries. Addressing the media, Minority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre expressed disappointment with the government's handling of the situation.
Fights, and then when they lay down their arms, they will be considered for recruitment into the security services. Most unfortunate. But more to the point, all of you were living witness to how our colleagues in the minority exploited this Bawku conflict. We are showing responsibility. We won't come and speak the way they spoke. But one of the key statements they made was that anytime they are in power, there is peace in Bawku, and that it is when the NPP is in power that the conflict escalates and it gets out of hand. In this case, they are in power. They must show responsibility. They must show responsibility. They are scratching the surface. Yes, the eminent chiefs are showing leadership, but the bus stops with the government. The bus stops with the government, and we expect them to show more maturity and leadership. After all, they have said that anytime they are in power, there is peace at Bawku. Why is it the case that now they are in power? They've been in power for more than 3 months.
You heard Minority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre. The deputy ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, Kofi Amankwa-Menu, has criticized remarks made by the Inspector General of Police, which urged the youth involved in the Bawku disturbances to disarm in order to be considered for recruitment into the security services.
Social media, I think that is true. Then the IGP's visit is rather going to create more problems than good. To say that lay down your tools, and that if you lay down your tools, we will consider you for recruitment. It's something that one cannot understand. Why should people, yes, it is important. In order to de-escalate the situation in the Bawku enclave, it is important that we get all parties involved to lay down their tools. But for me, it will be absurd to recruit people into the security services based on the fact that they've laid down their tools. What it means, that if you do not even meet the criteria to be recruited into the security service, you will be recruited into the security service because you have laid down your tool. That obviously is not the way to go. It is important that we deal with the Bawku issue once and for all. If we all know the sensitivities surrounding the Bawku issue, so if we are not careful and then one ethnic group lay down tools and then they are recruited into the security services, we all know the chaos this is going to create for the nation. It is simply not the way to go. We from the minority will support every move to bring finality and then to find solution to the situation in Bawku, because Bawku is a border town.
Kofi Amankwa-Menu is the deputy ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Richard Kumado is a security analyst. He's joined us on the line for some analysis of the situation in Bawku and how to deal with it. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Great. So the Bawku issue has been a troubling one for decades. Tonight we have an IGP who goes and makes an offer to the youth: lay down your tools and we'll recruit you into the Ghana Police Service. I don't know, in conflict resolution, is that one tool that is deployed And is this something that has been deployed somewhere and it worked? Because clearly this is what the IGP's plan is in dealing with Bawku after almost all plans have failed. Is this one of the conflict resolution mechanisms or tools that you are aware of that can help solve conflicts?
First of all, I'm a security consultant and I would prefer to be addressed as such. Number two,
that's actually that's actually what I said. I said you're a security consultant.
Okay.
Apologies if I said something else.
IGP went to the north to do security risk assessment to be able to assess for himself what goes on in the front line and why the methodologies we have used over the years did not work to ensure that public safety challenges are addressed effectively. And to that regard, I was thinking he will concentrate with that and get as much information and as much feeling as possible so that when he gets back home, he will have a frank discussion with the president. Coupled with the fact that the president was also speaking today in that same regard, knowing that IGP is up north in Bawku. When he said they should lay down their arms and to be recruited into the police service, I think that's a statement that should not be coming from the IGP. He has not set up the criteria. He has not set up the modalities. The Minister of Interior has set up a committee which I think you, our brothers in the media, will need to ask the Minister of Interior whether the committee has finished up with the work on the modalities for people getting involved into the security agencies, particularly the police. The police is working today because politicians and security officers who must know better have bastardized the place with recruitment, and people who do not have business joining the police service has been there. So it's an unfortunate statement, and I think if we need to look at it again and do something about it.
The minority side describes this as absurd. You say it's unfortunate. In your view, this is not a way to go at all.
It should not be coming from the head of the police.
And what are the reasons? So the minority spokesperson who spoke said, you risk having one group turn on another if they get recruited and another one doesn't get recruited. That is his view. What are your reasons? If you could just itemize for us why you think this is not proper.
That recruitment into the police service in particular should be based on criteria and it should be based on standardization. What we have done over the years is making the government not reaping the dividends of the kinds of people who join the police service in particular. Today, when you go to the Ghana Police Service, you have a lot of protocol police officers, you have a lot more of party police officers, and few number of professional police officers. And that is why, after many years, when you think you've given them a term of 4 to 8 years, they are still babies in a court and they are armchair investigators. If we do not follow the peculiar criteria for recruiting people and there are no standardization, it will continue for a very long time. And I think it's the wisdom of that the current Minister of Interior set up a committee to review the recruitment process. And I think the IGP should be aware of that there has to be a recruitment procedure and there's a procedure going on to review the whole structure. So to say that, I think it's unfortunate. And I think looking back, he would need to look at it again. Since we are all talking about standardizations and criteria and effectiveness of the Ghana Police Service that is capable of dealing with professional policing and meeting the challenges of the day.
Okay, so you're looking at the general issues with recruitment, but are you not missing the bigger picture? The end game is end a conflict that has lasted for decades in one of the most important towns in this country. If this is what it takes to bring peace to Bawku, so be it. The end will justify the means. Don't you agree?
Where did they get the guns from? The young ones is asking them to lay down their guns. Where did they get the guns from? The type of guns they are holding, the nature of the guns they are holding, where did they get it from? I think if you want to root it out, then plead with those who buy the guns for them, so that you can kill it from both ends.
But that appears to have been difficult over the years, and the guns are still there anyway. So if you would have them put these guns down, regardless of how they got them and where they got them, I wanted to see if so for you, I wanted to see if you could look at the bigger picture in the end game and say, well, regardless of the process that is going to be used, even if they are not qualified, or maybe if they are qualified, let them be recruited. At least their attention will be turned elsewhere so that they do not engage in the fight or in the conflict. Perhaps that's what the IGP's thinking is. You do not think so at all.
No, the other side of it is that many of them who have engaged in gun violence and who have run away from the place and seek other jobs. When you put them into the security architecture and you have no methodology of monitoring them, then you have equipped them one step ahead. And once they lay hands on the guns that they are now professionally able to shoot, you are creating a problem for us. If you look back and look at Operation Gong, then you can draw some lessons from there. And that should be a guiding principle. I'm not against people from Bawku who join the police or the military or any side, but I think it has to be standardized and there has to be a criteria to be faced because there's a supply and demand. We should rather be tackling, as big people, we should be tackling the big people who give them the guns and deal with them precisely from a crime prevention point of view. Then these young ones do not have access to guns. But once they have a taste for guns, and you put them into the security services purposely because you think idle hands will find jobs. Now, when they get trained and they are recruited and they get trained and they can lay hands on professional weaponry, you might be in for trouble. And that is what I'm looking at.
You have referenced Operation Gong for those who may not remember. If you could just quickly refresh us, and you say that should be the yardstick or the touchstone for measuring the success of such operations. Can you share with us what was Operation Gong and how did you feel?
If you look at some of the lessons we learned from Operation Gong, it should be a guiding principle of using some of these methodologies in an attempt to stop the conflict, peculiar conflict such as the one we are having in Bawku. Everybody who have access to Bawku and all the people who are speaking, particularly the IGP, they know the root causes of the conflict in Bawku and they know the current status. And I believe he wants to be abreast with the past. That is why he's up north. Having said that, the proposal he's making, yes, as soon as it may be, in terms of security management and resolving conflict, I think he needs to look at it again.
So if this is not the solution, what is the solution?
There are two sides of the conflict. What the security officers are doing there, they are managing the public safety challenges that comes out as a result of the root causes of the conflict. And so if you listen to what the president said, he said that Asante led delegation will bring permanent peace to Bawku. Their approach is always slow, and that is the way they've worked all this year. But until those assigned with the responsibility of dealing with culture, tradition, and chieftaincy in particular, until they are able to do that, those are the root causes of what fuels up the public safety challenges we are seeing in the public space. And that is where the police come in. And we are all aware from security management point of view and from conflict resolution, you do not use military, you do not use the police in the manner we are using them, thinking that one day we will wake up and they will be able to resolve the conflict in Bawku. What they are there purposely to do is the first line of action where their responsibility is to ensure that public safety challenges are dealt with as quickly as possible to ensure that many more people have not been harmed and deteriorated. But they have no business in resolving the conflict because they do not have that capacity and they do not have the methodology in doing that. And that is why we are struggling.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome, man.
So that's Richard Kumado. He's a security consultant speaking to us there. And he mentioned Operation Gong. Lots of you wondering what that is. So let me just read for you from the archives. Friday, 15 June 2001. Story credited to Ghana News Agency says government commends security personnel on Operation Gong. 2001, more than 20 years ago. It says the government has commended the security agencies in the former conflict area of Northern Region for maintaining peace there under challenging conditions. The peacekeeping exercise, codenamed Operation Gong, is a combined operation of the police and military in the eastern corridor of the region, which was the flashpoint of the 1994 and 1995 ethnic conflicts. The Vice President, Alhaji Aliyu Mahama, expressed the government's appreciation for their efforts despite the horrible conditions under which they operate, and gave the assurance that the government would soon work out a package to improve their conditions. Speaking at a Durbar of chiefs and people of Wulensi in the Nanumba district, the Vice President identified some of the problems confronting the security personnel as insufficient food and transport. The chief of Wulensi, Nasalif Wumbe, appealed to the government to split the Nanumba district into Nanumba East with Bimbela as capital and Nanumba West with Wulensi as capital in view of the increase in population as showed by the recent census. The chief also appealed to the Ghana Telecom to extend telephone facilities to the area. So this is a story from 2001 by the Ghana News Agency. Well, the Nanumba district was since split, so we have south and north instead of west and east, as was proposed by the vice president at the time. I believe that could be the reason that we had that particular issue coming up. And this is just to take you down memory lane, and more stories in relation to Operation Gong. There's another one from GNA, 18th October 2001. No secret security agencies will be established, according to the minister. And the minister being quoted at the time, let me read for you. Government has no intention of establishing any secret security agency to maintain law and order in the country. The Minister of the Interior, Alhaji Malik Al-Hassan Yakubu, has said. He said the government will maintain the constitutional security organizations mandated to carry out security duties and equip them to perform more effectively. Alhaji Yakubu gave the assurance at Yendi on Tuesday when he held a meeting with security agencies in the Yendi, Gushau, Karaga, and Zabzugu Tatali districts of the northern region. He commended security personnel in the area for their hard work and dedication in extremely difficult conditions, adding that their operations have brought peace to the conflict areas in the region. Alhaji Yakubu, who is also member of parliament for Yendi, announced that the government is planning seriously to scrap Operation Gong in the eastern corridor of the Yendi area. Operation Gong is a task force in the northern region. To this end, he said chiefs, opinion leaders, district chief executives, and security officers have been tasked to come out with comprehensive report on areas where the government should provide a permanent police post in replacement of Operation Gong. And this Gong is your Gong bitter as we know it. On zero tolerance for corruption, and so this is not related to this article, but this is a story from October 2001 from the Ghana News Agency that I just thought I should share with you after the security analyst mentioned that. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. The president has said the Otumfo-led mediation would continue from next week or resume from next week. We've heard from the minority side. We've heard the offer being made by the IGP. Before I take a break, let me let you listen again to what the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohuno, has been saying when he went to Bawku. Now, he led a delegation of policemen and women to Bawku, where he went to deal with or assess the situation himself. And he said that among a number of things, they are offering the youth of Bawku recruitment into the Ghana Police Service if they put down their tools. Listen.
Those who have retired, who have worked in any of these security services, have all distinguished themselves. And so we are appealing to you to lay down your arms, have confidence in us, so that together we'll work and then we'll bring peace to this area. We assure you that when it comes to recruitment, we'll give the people of Bawku priority. We'll give the youth of Bawku priority. And so for that matter, a special team will come here to do special recruitment for people of the youth of Bawku. If we get them, I'm sure some of them have helped us a lot in international communities, in international peacekeeping. I know, and their names, only that I will not mention, who have worked diligently, and those who have retired, they also work together with us to make sure that we work together to bring peace here. I know how hardworking people from this area are. So we are appealing to you. Just let us know where we are going wrong. Let us know where we are going wrong, so we can quickly correct those things and then make sure that you continue to work with our people diligently. Where by mistake we have done something wrong, forgive us. We will not repeat those things again. We are also appealing to you that our people, the security services over here, the police, the military, the prisons, fire service, immigration, all those who are here, they are here to work to bring peace. If any individual commits anything wrong, let us know, so that we will pull that person out of the area, so that we will continue to work together to bring peace.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Gugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let me bring some of the messages that you have been sending through. Eric Kwao in Aflao says, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama must do everything under his power to resolve the crisis in Bawku. In fact, we want peace. Jones Adboy in La says, very sad news coming from Bawku. I will appeal to my lovely brothers and sisters of Bawku to calm down and embrace peace. Conflict has never resolved any conflict. The IGP promise to the youth of Bawku is in the right direction. As for the mini micro minority, the least said about them, the better. JDM is working. Courage from Koforidua says the issue in Galamsey must certainly be priority for this government. They must show more seriousness and not just purport to show some action only when these matters get to critical levels. President Mahama must remember his promise. Oga says the offer by the IGP is most appreciated and he needs to be applauded, but until then he should ensure that the officer who shot one of our brothers killed is arrested and dealt with. Kennedy from Onipayede says the recruitment of Bawku youth into Ghana Police Service is a wrong idea by the IGP. This will create further tensions. Baba Chairman in Tamale says, until politicians wash their hands off the Bawku crisis, there can be no solutions. The current president made huge political capital out of the Bawku crisis and even went on to promise of ending it should he be voted for. I urge the good people of Bawku to cease fire by disengaging and smoking the peace pipe and give peace a chance. Peter Dell Sr. from Akosombo says, I think most people misinterpreted the semantics and pragmatics of the speech by the IGP. I think he said that to put some happiness on their faces. In order to persuade them from further engagement in crime. David from Ejisu Krapa says the NDC government will govern the country better than the Akufo-Addo government did. Al-Hassan Hamdan from Nonyi South says the Bawku issue remains highly delicate and complex until the two main factions agree to smoke the peace pipe. Finding lasting peace will be extremely difficult. Sisi from Ashaiman says, so amongst everything, this is the only way to ensure lasting peace in that part of the country. Is it to say all the youth would be recruited even if they don't qualify? So what of other youth? Does it also suggest that nobody from that part has ever been recruited? Where is fairness? How is it that these people, after several talks just to have peace in their own region, choose violence, and it has to take prioritizing their recruitment into the service to calm them down? In the first place, is that the root cause of the violence? Peter from Domi says, I think the IGP's assurance to the youth of Bawku to lay down their guns, to be given preferential treatment, to be recruited into the police service is very unfortunate. So if even they are not qualified, they would be given preferential treatment. Please let the IGP come again. This one exclaims, Kofi Abochi Ahafo Shridim. He says, hey IGP, so what if other ethnic groups also start fighting? Is the way to go? Ghana, our leaders can't even think outside the box. Reset agenda and pack. This one says, peace, and peace is all we need in Bawku. The once vibrant town has become a pale shadow of itself. Teachers, bankers, nurses, and all other professionals are fleeing. The Kusasis and Mamprosis in Bawku are one and the same people. Why the bloodbath? Why the unbated gunfire? Why the mistrust? Enough is enough. Bawku needs peace now. That's Abuaduko from Zorko in Zorko Kanga. This one says the IGP's promise to the youth of Bawku is very bad, weird, imprudent, and shocking. One can the IGP goes too much. Hello, Nana Dudan Kwakufa, the former president. How are you? Good evening. Let me take this last one from Abu Tiateti in the Volta region by Mausia Yerebe Esther, and he says the minority chief whip's insistence on pressuring the ruling government for a solution to the Bawku conflict is baffling, especially considering the worsening situation under the previous administration. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno.
Let's go to the Ashanti region, where Ashanti regional executives of the National Democratic Congress have summoned constituency executives in Asante Mampong following violent disturbances over the alleged nomination of a municipal chief executive. Some aggrieved supporters of the party stormed the NDC office on Monday, vandalizing property and setting some items ablaze. The youth claimed they had received information that one Esther Jomo had been nominated for the MCE position, although no official communication had been issued by the presidency.
Let's go to the Ashanti region and speak to Kweku Benasco. He is Asante Mampong Constituency Communications Officer of the NDC. Mr. Benasco, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Welcome, thank you.
The youth of your area, okay, where are you? It sounds very noisy in the background. Could you please move away?
I'm around the party office.
Oh, why? The youth are still there?
Oh no, the regional minister is around.
So what's happening? They said you are giving them an MC or DC that they did not know about. What's happening with your constituency or district?
Oh, thank you very much. Let me use your answer to say hi to your listeners. On behalf of the party executives and the youth in Asante Mampong, NDC, we use your aspect again to render an apology to the nation, to the party hierarchy, regional executives, national executives, and then the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. What is happening in Asante Mampong is that when the open nomination for the MC position, 8 people applied in Asante Mampong, and they were to go through vetting process at the regional level. The 3 people were shortlisted to go for national vetting. When we got to national, we realized that the 3 that were shortlisted in Asante Mampong, 2 additional names has been added. So it was these 2 names that called the attention of the party supporters to seek answers to those questions that initially they were afraid. How come they are now 5? They couldn't get the answer that they want. And about 2-3 days ago, they came with a petition that they got in a rumor around that they have given the MC to one lady who was not part of the shortlisted candidate. And that one, they cannot sit down for that thing to happen. Because the third name, which is Esther Jomo, joined the party from NPP in the year 2022. So they see her not to be a member of good standing. At least he must be with the party for about 5 years, at least 5 years, then he can be regarded and considered for any other appointment. But those three that were shortlisted, they have worked for the party for over 20 years and over. So based on that, they think they also deserve to be considered. And somebody who just joined the party, taking that person at the expense of those people, they don't want it. So that is the issue in Asante Mampong right now.
But are they being truthful though? Is that really what happened?
Yes, I'm the communication officer, so I'm telling you the exact thing that is happening at Asante Mampong.
Which means that what they have said is true. It sounds like you agree with them.
Exactly so. I've been a communication officer for the party for the past 8 years. And if you look at the appointment, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing right now. It's more like he's rewarding party loyalty and then hard work. If you look at the appointment from national to region, all those who have went have been rewarded. So we thought it would descend down to the constituency level. So we're also expecting that those who have worked for the party, and we do recognize them, they also know party faithful will also be selected. If it happens that somebody who just joined the party from the political party, within the short possible time, be given such appointment, it will not help NDC to be the party that we want in Asante Mampong. Because NDC, we started with votes over 4,000, and gradually we are now hitting over 16,000 in Asante Mampong. So we want somebody who will help us to increase the vote and, if possibly, win Mampong seat in the coming election. So I do agree with my youth because we share same sentiment.
Okay, now who is supposed to listen to you on this, and where did this deal come from?
And this we want, you see, the appointing authority has the authority to do all these things. And I think your absent TV calling us tells us that what we did in Asante Mampong or what happened in Asante Mampong has gotten to the party ranking, the party top authority. And we know for sure they will take it and then they will do what will be in the good interest of the party. So now that I'm talking to you, the regional minister and the interior minister are in town. They are the party office with the constituency executive to ensure that calm has been restored in Asante Mampong.
Mr. Benasco, I'm hearing a child in the background. I'm hearing sirens. What? Regional? You said the regional minister is there.
The regional minister is departing. And departing to Kumasi.
But the baby crying to how?
Yes, when I am, that's why you can hear that but the background.
Oh, okay. So did the regional minister bring you any news that sounds good to your ears?
Yes, initially I was there when the interior minister was addressing the constituency executive, but I had some interviews to grant with some media house, so I left the place. So I'm standing around the party office, and I know after this I will see my constituency chairman for briefing of what happened.
Very well. Thank you so much. But is violence the way to go?
As for the vandalization and the violence, we condemn that one outright because it goes against the principles of the party. That's why initially I used to ask you to apologize to the entire country that this act must not be entertained. So we, the constituency executive, we condemn this act, and we have urged the supporters not to resort to that as a way of exercising their discretion. They will have a medium that they can follow in order to say what they want to tell the party executives, but not in such a manner. So we do condemn that act outright.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you.
That's Kweku Benasco. He's the Asante Mampong Constituency Communications Officer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno has some other stories. Give me that, yes.
The Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mubarak, has justified the deportation of foreigners involved in illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey. He explained that the country lacks the necessary infrastructure, including police cells and prison facilities, to detain such individuals while awaiting prosecution, which is often a prolonged process. According to him, deportation remains the most practical and immediate solution in the national interest. The minister made these remarks during the commissioning of a two-story office facility and the presentation of a vehicle to the Asante Mampong Sector Command of the Ghana Immigration Service in the Ashanti region.
Let me also take this opportunity, the media, ladies and gentlemen, to address some concerns raised by some civil society organizations and the media about my recent comment with regards to removal of foreigners within our country. Let me say that what we did was lawful. If you check the Deportation Act, it is lawful. If you check the mineral mining laws, it's one of the options that we have. But let me just give you one of the key reasons why we opted to do that. In 2023, total number of individuals that were arrested that were properly recorded. As we all know, some get arrested and along the line a lot of things happens and they just get away without even being recorded in the system. But those that were properly recorded and charged were 218. At the end of 2023, only 24 were able to be prosecuted. Only 24, without a single foreigner being among the 24. In 2024, that was just last year, 627 were properly recorded. Only 11 were prosecuted without a single foreigner. So, if you are the Minister for Interior and you know that foreigners are taking undue advantage of our judicial system and its delay and adjournment and weakness in our system, tell me what you do. I will say that our prime aim is to protect this country and to make sure that it continues to be safe. And most of them, when they get into our country, when you arrest them, they pretend that they don't have even passport. The Comptroller General is here. They pretend that they don't have passport. They give you fake names. When you take them to court, they take advantage of our delays in our court system. They get bail, and before you realize, they relocate to other communities and continue the harm that they are doing. That is why we resolve that for two crimes: one, finding yourself in our forest, and two, doing defrauding. For these two, when we get you, our option is to take you back into your country. And this we will continue to do to make sure that we sanitize the system.
Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mubarak there. The Food and Drugs Authority has launched a nationwide community swoop to address the growing abuse of opioids across the country. The operation is being carried out in collaboration with the Narcotics Control Commission, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Pharmacy Council, and the Drug Law Enforcement Unit of the Ghana Police Service. Speaking to the media after an intelligence-led exercise in Tema and Ashaiman, the FDA's Director of Tobacco and Substance Abuse, Dr. Olivia Ajikuma Boateng, reiterated the authorities' commitment to safeguarding public health.
We are telling everybody that we are coming at them. This is affecting our youth, particularly our youth, and we are coming at them with lots of strategies. Apart from the public education, aggressive public education that we are doing as the dangers that these products have on their very lives. We are going to communities, we are going to churches, we are doing this in all schools. It's also of paramount importance to raid the market of what has already entered the country that is fueling the abuse. And then we also intend enhancing or ensuring that there's strict border control so that these products do not even enter at all. Then we are collaborating with mental health so that the people who already are addicted to these substances can receive some form of psychosocial support and then rehabilitation services. We got about 10 to 15, and then we got, apart from the opioids, we got cannabis, which is also illicit. And we actually went with the Narcotics Control Commission, so we'll hand over that exhibit and the suspect to them to carry out further investigation. We had antibiotics, we had unregistered tobacco products. So anything that we picked was unregistered, as well as the opioids.
Dr. Olivia Jakuma Boateng is the Director of Tobacco and Substance Abuse at the Food and Drugs Authority. The Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, has inaugurated the newly reconstituted Ghana Education Trust Fund Board to oversee the allocation of funds for school infrastructure projects. Government recently uncapped the fund and released 3.5 billion cedis for its operations. At the ceremony, the Minister urged the 17-member board to prioritize emergency reconstruction in cases of natural disasters such as floods and fires, and encouraged responsible use of the allocated resources.
You should be looking at a situation where members of parliament with your support at least can undertake one project. If we give them 200,000 times 4 years, President Mahama, we have 4 years. My mandate is 4 years. Within the 4 years, if I cannot complete the classroom, what would you have done in helping me? And having been in the seat as member of parliament, I know what members of parliament go through. And I can share with you that when you hear the public take up that, why are you giving money to members of parliament? Get fun, do this for the country. You will have to find a way to make some allocation that will respond to this natural calamity. We don't have control over it, but certainly we would have to live with it.
That was the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu. The Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana at Dr. Hilla Liman Technical University has suspended its indefinite strike following the commencement of negotiations with the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission and the university's management. The strike, which began on Tuesday, April 8, had halted academic activities, with TUTEG citing the university's management's prolonged failure to address critical concerns raised over the past 2 years. Speaking to Citi News, chairman of the Dr. Hilla Liman TUTEG chapter, Samadu Kamwini, said the decision to suspend the strike is to allow for peaceful dialogue without further disruption to academic work.
We declared a strike as a result of our management's failure to fulfill certain demands. And then on that same Monday, we received an invitation from GTEC, and GTEC invited us for a meeting on Friday, which is today. So the strike has been on since Monday, and because of GTEC's invitation, we convened another emergency meeting on Wednesday, and then in that meeting, members suggested we actually voted and suspended the strike with effect from yesterday, Thursday. So as we speak now, members have resumed their services and then they are currently working. While we, the executives, have also come to GTEC today, Friday, for an engagement with the Director General and his team together with our management. By now, if you visit our campus, you realize that lectures are going on and academic activities are going on.
Samadu Kamwini is the chairman of TUTEG at Dr. Hilla Liman Technical University chapter. Meanwhile, the Director General of Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi, assured the union of GTEC's commitment to resolving their grievances, noting ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure and enhance institutional operations.
Dr. Hilla Liman University has a student population of about some 2,500, 700 students. And students mostly do not find the school attractive because they don't have the necessary infrastructure. We've been working with management to see how we can support the institution by getting them the needed infrastructure, i.e. hostels, laboratories, and IT equipment for the institution to be able to function effectively and efficiently. As I indicated to management, I think strike should always be the last resort, if not no option at all. The current administration has been in office for close to some 3 months, and all of a sudden they are saddled with what? Strike, when, as a matter of fact, the Minister of Education has not even had proper briefing of the stature and nature of Dr. Hilla Liman University. So we find it refreshing that they are come back to the classroom. We hope this should be the last strike, and as a commission, we are always going to create the necessary enabling environment for us to have dialogue and discourse and see how we can ensure that their wishes in terms of what they are asking for are addressed.
Professor Ahmed Jinapo Abdullahi is Director General of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Sawutrukrum. Now yes, charcoal toothpaste. Yes, charcoal toothpaste. Aya no ya hwe yi. No bi amfa so kwan na no wachenchina. Esane say charcoal toothpaste bebre ane wodwaso. Nanso nyane nyina na yema wo se. Titru mpo ni se wo nyini no. Bon ho modin se wo beto charcoal toothpaste a ye di bidi ankasa ye. Na enya dai keke na bia gumu. Na wo de yin keka wa fusimu. Na wo se nya hoden na se fita. To charcoal toothpaste fluoride ewo mu na bo se ho ban na mana ye din da ekoti se obaba kokora na sabrewa. Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste die wo dibidie lemon mint ana zinc ana akabomu aye enti ma wo se ye din na wonum so ehwam de mu ni nyina. Pepsodent die yenim no dada o enti wasan de bidie lemon and mint akabomu aye die ene na kire se yesen adamfo no no ebe me wonum ayehwam na bo se ho ban afrika kawa bia mu. To Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste fetchu se na mo se ho ban abrebia.
Did you know that the UK and Europe offer some of the best high-paying jobs and career opportunities for Ghanaians? But first, you would need to understand the UK and Europe job market, the courses that are in high demand, and the universities that offer the best partial scholarships. Now, Best Education Services warmly invites you to the 2025 UK and Europe Education and Career Fair this April. Come and apply instantly for admissions into courses with paid internship and high graduate employment, partial scholarship from universities and courses sponsored under UK government scholarship schemes. Special opportunities exist for people interested in healthcare, social work, construction, engineering, multimedia communications, and information technology. Come and learn about the UK post-study work visa and pathway to the skills worker visa. A date 22nd April 2025. Time is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Venue is Ibis Style Hotel, Airport City. Best Education UK and Europe Education and Career Fair is free. So register now by calling or WhatsApping 025 629 9707.
Your comfort investment is here. Agora by Val Real Estate, a premium real estate investment opportunity located just 1 minute from Kotoka International Airport. Agora offers luxurious studios and one-bedroom apartments designed for comfort and high returns on investment. Secure your unit today with a $25,000 deposit payable in Citi equivalent. RSVP for the upcoming sales launch by calling toll-free on 0800 888 888. Agora, your comfort investment.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Eno Safo. Let's settle for the details. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana is urging local exporters to enhance the competitiveness of their products on the international stage, particularly in the U.S. market. This follows a recent announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump to suspend the 10% tariffs on imports from all countries for a period of 90 days. In an interview with Citi Business News, Executive Chairman of the association, John Awuni, described the U.S. decision as a strategic window of opportunity. He stressed that Ghanaian exporters should use this period to improve product quality, pricing and packaging to better compete globally.
Donald Trump administration has basically done is to reciprocate. It's do me, I do you. So you charge 50% of my goods, and then they go ahead and give even a discounted tariffs. We have been charging 17% for theirs. They are charging 10% for our goods. They have not even charged the full value of the 17%. So what I think that essentially for us who export our goods to U.S. territories, we just have to improve our competitiveness, and then also you will have to just pass the tariff to the consumer, and the U.S. prices of goods in the U.S. for Ghanaian products will go up.
John Awuni is the Executive Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. As the government prepares to launch the Feed Ghana program tomorrow in Techiman, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has disclosed a strategic intervention to support farmers. The minister says farmer services centers will be established across all agricultural districts nationwide. According to him, these centers are expected to serve as a critical support system addressing the operational and technical challenges confronting farmers.
Many of our farmers go through an ordeal before assessing some of these inputs. And so the strategy we have is that we want to establish what we call the farmer service centers in all the agricultural districts. These centers will serve as one-stop shop for all the farmers within the district, so that when you go to the center, you can have access to agricultural mechanization. You can have access to agricultural input in the form of seed, fertilizer, extension officers, and then whatever, training and whatever. So you can just place a call to the center that I'm on my farm. I've noticed something unusual. I need extension officers to come and assist me. Because they have their motorbikes ready, they'll just be on it, and within a short time, we will be with you on the farm. This is the essence of the farmers centers that we are constructing across the country. And so that one, this is to cure that part.
That was the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku. The Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources, Kenneth Ajay, has urged stakeholders in the built environment to embrace green building practices as part of the country's strategy for sustainable development. Speaking at the 6th Ghana Green Building Summit held in Accra, the minister stressed that sustainability is no longer aspirational, but a necessity for national progress. Kenneth Ajay also announced collaborations with global partners to establish robust green building standards that reduce carbon emissions and lower long-term housing costs.
Sustainability is not merely an aspirational goal, but an essential requirement. With rapid urbanization, escalating climate-related challenges, and increasing demand for housing and infrastructure, we stand at a critical crossroads requiring decisive action. However, these pressing challenges present unique opportunities for innovation and growth. The government of Ghana remains unwaveringly committed to formulating and implementing visionary policies that promote green building practices, advance energy efficiency, and develop pioneering financing models to support sustainable development comprehensively. Under the auspices of the Ministry of Works, Housing and Water Resources, we are actively integrating green building principles into our national housing strategies and programs, embedding them within broader urban development initiatives. We aim to nurture an enabling environment where sustainable construction methods become the standard practice rather than an alternative. Integral to realizing this ambition is the district housing program, specially developed to deliver sustainable and affordable housing. Affordable in quotes, because we were just talking about what's affordable to me may not be affordable to B. Solutions in rural and peri-urban communities by utilizing environmentally responsible and locally sourced construction materials.
Kenneth Ajay is Minister for Works, Housing and Water Resources. Now, stakeholders in Ghana's extractive sector are advocating for stronger policies to ensure a safer and more inclusive environment for women. This push follows ongoing concerns about the underrepresentation of women in leadership roles and incidents of sexual harassment, particularly in the informal mining space. Training programs and stakeholder relations officer with the Ghana Mine Workers Union, Vida Bawku, made the remarks on the sidelines of a policy conference on gender and extractives organized by NetRight in collaboration with Third World Network Africa.
Fortunately, most of the mining companies do have sexual harassment policies, but if we want to look at it at the bigger picture level, then there's a need to all come together and advocate for the ratification of the ILO Convention 190, which talks about harassment in the world of work. So we need to all come together and push for the ratification of that convention. Again, we need to put in place interventions that make the women or people who are harassed safe. So I think that going forward, that's what must be done. And then we encourage women to also report sexual harassment so that it will not affect them.
Vida Bawku is Training Programs and Stakeholder Relations Officer with the Ghana Mine Workers Union. Meanwhile, Programs Manager with Third World Network Africa, Pauline van der Pollen, has been urging for measures to address policy gaps in the extractive industry.
Over the past 2 days, we've been focusing very much on issues affecting women in the extractive sector. And I think one of the things that we've recognized is that we need to address policy gaps or policy weaknesses. And I think that's one of the more tangible things that we can talk to, how we can get our policies and practices to improve the situation of women in the extractive sector. In terms of addressing issues around technology, around finance, around policy, and then the different policy recommendations. So as I said, the need to have our policies, engendered, look at the gender gaps within our policy has been a very key one. Then we need to be looking at how we can support women in the extractive sector to, participate more fully.
Programs Manager with Third World Network Africa, Pauline van der Polen. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ines Alpha. Up next is Point Blank.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank, we did Polytank. Papa no no, papa no no no, papa no no, papa no no no, papa no no, Alcazar. Polytank, the original, always the best.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info, make a fill the gobe too small. Go! Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Omar Rusandama. Tonight on Point Blank, we are bringing you a speech by President John Dramani Mahama. Now, he was at a graduation parade at the Ghana Military Academy today, and he wore the uniform of the Ghana Navy and also had his sword on his side. And that video is on our social media platforms. You can look for it, Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, and you see the president dressed in the navy white uniform, holding his sword. I saw some people write a commentary that he was looking like Vladimir Putin when he was walking. I don't know. You go and look at it. But let's listen to the key message he had to deliver to Ghanaians tonight when he spoke at the graduation ceremony.
The ministers of state, the chiefs of the defense staff and service chiefs, members of the Council of State, heads of sister security services, generals, serving and retired, senior government officials, traditional leaders and eminent clergy, friends and family of the new graduates, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. Today is certainly a momentous occasion, not just for you, the graduating officer cadets, but also for the entire nation and your families. Today we welcome you to the essential call to leadership and service with the noble colors of the Ghana Armed Forces. From today you shall leave the walls of this academy as proud members of the Ghana Armed Forces just as many have done before you. Congratulations, my dear graduates of regular career course intake 63. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 years ago, I was here to perform a similar function as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. It gives me a great sense of nostalgia to be here again today. And as fate and the uncertainties of life would have it, I'm back again to preside over this auspicious ceremony. I'm grateful to the Almighty God and highly elated to be part of this graduation parade and commissioning ceremony. I wish to assure you that my administration and the entire Ghanaian people stand strongly with you in your bid to serve and protect our nation. Mother Ghana demands your devotion and your patriotic service. My dear officer cadets of the Ghana Armed Forces, you stand here today as a testament to the values of discipline, courage, and dedication that define the Ghana Armed Forces. This is because you have all successfully surmounted the rigors of the commissioning course. You have endured the arduous physical and intellectual training. You've overcome countless challenges and proved yourselves worthy of the Presidential Commission. It is worth admitting that the spectacular display you have put up this morning is evident of the months of dedication and commitment to your training in the Ghana Military Academy. As a result, today we celebrate your achievements and look forward to the significant contributions you will make to our nation, to our sub-region, to our continent, and to the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, the smart and well-coordinated drills and formations, as well as the prompt responsiveness of the contingent to the parade commander's orders, connotes the high standard of training these resilient young men and women have gone through. I'm convinced that your relatives who are gathered here today, and even those watching from far away through various networks, will be proud of your professional appearance and your smart display. Yeah, they deserve an applause, yeah? The credit also goes to the Armed Forces High Command and the Commandant of the Ghana Military Academy and his untiring instructors who through service, devotion and sacrifice have turned these cadets to the officers that they are becoming today. I see you as officers ready to contribute your quota to defending the territorial integrity of our country and to protecting our democracy. Certainly, the Ghana Military Academy has remained resolute and well-focused in achieving its mandate, notwithstanding some challenges it faces. This academy has a very rich history of training many of West Africa's great and famous military leaders. Talking about academics in relation to the Ghana Armed Forces, I'm particularly elated about the coming on stream of the National Defense University with a presidential charter. The charter provides the Ghana Armed Forces the mandate to explore and facilitate extensive teaching and learning towards more effective national defense and security. Conceptually, as one of the constituent colleges of the National Defense University, the Ghana Military Academy will receive the needed facilities to achieve its mandate. This intervention will actualize the upgrading of the commissioning course to a postgraduate diploma status for newly commissioned officers. And so when the officers are commissioned, they'll come out with a postgraduate diploma. I am committed to supporting the National Defense University to realize its full potential. This specialized institution will run strategic academic courses to support government's efforts for strategic higher education for qualified Ghanaians, civilians, and the military. The university will certainly be another opportunity to incorporate and mainstream military discipline and doctrine in our people, pursuing higher education with a view to accelerating our Reset Ghana agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minister for Defense has informed me that the Ghana Military Academy, as we see it today, has only undergone its first phase of expansion, and it is awaiting a second phase and even a third phase. In complementing the need to make the facilities more functional, I'll give attention to your urgent requirement for a sports complex with a modern gymnasium and a swimming pool. And also the construction of an outer perimeter road to facilitate training in the academy. Distinguished guests, our sub-region is affected by the scourge of terrorism. Terrorist attacks close to our northern border have become a regular feature. Ghana is also not immune from the influence and effects of the complex challenges posed by the global security environment. This is because globally non-state security actors are becoming, or in some instances, have already become central and pivotal. This situation requires a comprehensive approach to state security, and one cannot underestimate the importance of active participation of all our citizens in the security and stability of our state. As citizens of Ghana, we must recognize that the nature of contemporary threats that confront us demand that we do not perceive our security services as the exclusive institutions responsible for our safety and security. The complementary roles of individuals, organizations, and the government in national security is of critical importance. I urge our citizens in discharging this complementary duty of helping to safeguard our security not to behave like the shepherd boy in the famous fable who cried wolf, wolf when there was no wolf. If we behave like that boy, either for partisan or parochial interest, we distract the attention of our security services from focusing on their critical job of keeping us safe. Let us support our security services and the Ghana Armed Forces with information that is useful and intelligence that is helpful, that will advance their work rather than retrogress it. Let me reiterate that we will take all allegations of crime seriously and trigger our security service investigative machinery to go after criminals no matter who they are. But let me state emphatically also that we do not have the resources and time to engage in any game of smoke and mirrors. The Ghana Armed Forces is engaged in several theaters to maintain peace and security in our nation. One major flashpoint continues to be the Bawku area. Only 2 days ago, an incident in a marketplace triggered an unfortunate loss of lives and criminal vandalism of property. I wish to emphasize that nobody gains from this situation of conflict and insecurity. We have triggered the Otumfor mediation process, which saw all stakeholders participate in discussions in Kumasi on a roadmap towards peace. I'm assured by the Asante that the process will resume next week when he returns from his brief visit abroad. Congratulations to our armed forces for the sacrifices you have made, even at the peril of your lives, to protect life and property in the Bawku conflict area. We need the cooperation of all to restore peace in Bawku and its environs. And I entreat all sides to embrace peace as we dialogue to resolve this age-old dispute. Distinguished guests, plans for the expansion of the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure increased capacity to counter both internal and external threats were initiated while I was in office in my previous term. During this period, we supervised the acquisition of air, land, and sea assets to equip the armed forces to fulfill their mandate of keeping our nation safe. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in resetting our nation to build the Ghana we want, my government will aggressively pursue the ideas of operational and combat readiness of the Ghana Armed Forces. We will resource the Ghana Armed Forces. This means better equipment, including more simulators, advanced training, and the ability to mobilize swiftly in times of need. You will be equipped to excel in your duties. We shall assess the retooling initiative and facilitate cost-effective outcomes to equip our army to the standards required for a 21st century defense force. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we revel in the significant achievements of our young regular career course 63 graduates, who are ready to secure Ghana's peace and sovereignty, we must also reflect on Ghana's illustrious legacy in international peacekeeping. We pride ourselves in our nation's commitment to global peace and security. Indeed, this has not been a recent endeavor. It dates back to the 1960s when, under Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory, Ghana participated in the United Nations peacekeeping force deployed in the Republic of Congo. Today I pay profound tribute to the Ghanaian military martyrs who made the ultimate sacrifice in the Congo and other places. For the youth of today, let me inform you that the Congo Junction at the entrance of Bema Camp is a constant reminder of the sacrifices of our gallant men and women in uniform. Graduates, this is a noble and sacrificial profession, respected by all men and women, that you are being commissioned into today. You must sustain and enhance the momentum and add to the gains of your forebears and be ready to defend Ghana even at the peril of your lives. Since the 1960s, Ghana has remained unrivaled in our commitment and dedication to the cause of international peace efforts under the banner of the United Nations, the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States, and other mandates. The Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center has also deepened our understanding and improved our engagement in peace support operations. Indeed, Ghana is ranked the 7th largest troop contributing country to United Nations peace support operations. Globally, our officers and soldiers serve in 15 missions with a deployed strength of over 2,600 military personnel. Presently, Ghana has personnel in Lebanon, in South Sudan, Abyei, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Syria, Cyprus, the Central African Republic, Libya, Western Sahara, Morocco, Yemen, and Somalia. Our commitment to peacekeeping will continue as our contribution to creating a peaceful world for all. To maximize our national interest and well-being of the troops, we will streamline peacekeeping operations in line with UN requirements to yield the rewards that reflect our contribution on that global stage. The practice of fairness and integrity will be central as we enforce transparency in the selection process for peacekeeping duties. Together with your hard-working military high command, we shall ensure that the most qualified officers and soldiers are given the opportunities to serve. Distinguished guests, our deployment has been gender sensitive, making Ghana Armed Forces the standard bearer in the deployment of formed female soldiers across peacekeeping missions. Ghana has exceeded the United Nations gender target for gender deployment. For formed troops, Ghana has deployed 24.62 females, higher than the United Nations target of 9%. And Ghana has deployed 23.3% female for staff officers and military observers in excess of the UN target of 14.21%. Congratulations to our women in uniform. Apart from helping to maintain global peace and security, the exposure of the Ghana Armed Forces and its troops to the negative effects of war and undemocratic change in government has been of benefit to national development. It is therefore in order that the Ghana Armed Forces continues to maintain its support for the Constitution and the state and the maintenance of our democratic system of government, even in the face of coup d'etats across our sub-region. And that is why today, as Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, on behalf of the people of Ghana, I have worn the uniform of the Ghana Navy to identify with our men and women in uniform. We are in solidarity with you, and we will support you every step of the way. To our graduating cadets, you are being commissioned at a time when the sub-region is facing security threats. These threats have the tendency to erode our collective security gains. I encourage you to remain resolute and committed as you work very hard to improve on the legacy left by your predecessors. Embrace that legacy and carry it forward with pride. Under my watch as the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, merit-based promotions hinged on competence and not connections will be the norm and not the exception. We will also expand opportunities for non-commissioned officers, NCOs, to access officer cadet training. I believe every soldier should have a fair chance to rise optimally through the ranks, and especially when they merit it. As a hallmark of my administration, exhibited across all sectors, will ensure professionalism and transparency within the Ghana Armed Forces. We will address the most pressing concerns of our troops, starting with the need for quality housing. We will focus on constructing new housing units in the barracks while refurbishing dilapidated and abandoned military accommodation across the nation. We believe that no service personnel should have to endure substandard living conditions. In addition to improved accommodation in our barracks, we will establish the Armed Forces Home Ownership Scheme to provide officers and soldiers with the opportunity to own their own private homes. We'll provide our military families with the comfort and security that they deserve. We'll prioritize the welfare of our troops and our civilian defense staff. Already, the Ministry of Defense is working to fix the acute feeding challenges that we inherited from the previous administration. The strategy is three-pronged. First is providing emergency food supplies. The second is paying food suppliers on time while retiring their outstanding debts we inherited. And the third is partnering the private sector to venture into mechanized farming under the Defense Industry Holding Company Limited. My dear military personnel and civilian staff, I am determined to systematically improve your conditions of service. DHOC will be one of our key planks in providing sustainable financing for the Ghana Armed Forces. Your sacrifices deserve recognition. For our retired personnel who have sacrificed so much for your nation, we will ensure that your retirement benefits are paid promptly. Distinguished gallant officers, soldiers, and defense civilian staff, your health is also a priority. We have a viable vision to upgrade your medical health facilities. We will therefore complete and equip the Kumasi Military Hospital at Afari in the Central Command. We've also budgeted for a military field hospital in Tamale. We want you and your families to have access to quality health care. The Defense Industries Holding Company, which is the commercial wing of the Armed Forces, will further see to the revamp of the defense production lines to produce clothing for our men and women in uniform, to produce boots and accessories for the Ghana Armed Forces and other security services. Within a 24-hour economy, the Engineer Corps will also be licensed to participate in commercial ventures for the Ghana government and will be paid for it. This will go alongside expanding and equipping the Engineer Corps to undertake national emergency projects. Your skills will not only protect the nation, but will also help support the 24-hour economy initiative. To the graduating cadets, today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your lives. You are no longer officer cadets. You shall soon be officers of the Ghana Armed Forces. The nation looks up to you with expectation, hope, and confidence. You are part of the future of our Ghana Armed Forces. Your actions will shape the destiny of our nation. Remember that leadership is neither about rank nor privilege. Leadership is about responsibility and service. I urge you to lead with integrity, courage, and compassion. I encourage you to be officers who inspire loyalty. I expect you to be leaders who earn respect and uphold the highest standards of professionalism. In your journey as serving officers, you will face challenges. However, I trust that with the resilience, determination, and skills that you have gained at this prestigious military academy, you will be well prepared for the task ahead. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to commend and congratulate the award recipients, especially Senior Under Officer Mustafa Salim Danabja, who has been adjudged the overall best cadet of regular career course 63, and also the overall best cadet in the Army faculty. Junior Under Officer Nakobu Abdul Hamid Muhammad, the overall best cadet in military skills. Junior Under Officer Kwatim Michael Ousu, the overall best cadet in academics. Junior Under Officer Loko Fred Akakra, the overall best cadet from the Naval Faculty. And Junior Under Officer okay, I said that already. Nakubu, okay, he got a second one. Nakubu Abdul Hamid Mohammed, the overall best cadet from the Air Faculty. The last but not the least, commendation goes to Commandant's Best Company, Abyssinia Company, for emerging as the overall best company.
So that's President John Dramani Mahama. He was speaking at the graduation parade at the Ghana Military Academy. That's by way of Eyewitness News for tonight. It's been great coming your way throughout the week with Salam Kojo Adonu co-hosting with me. We'll be back on Monday at 17:30 GMT with Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. If you want more news and current affairs, at 8 p.m. tonight on Channel 1 TV, I'll be on with Channel 1 Newsroom, that's CNR. At 9 a.m. tomorrow, Salam Kojo Adonu will be on with The Big Issue on Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Meanwhile, we have sports coming up next, Sports Panorama. The City Sports crew is ready to bring you that. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you again on Monday, inshallah. Bye-bye.